The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Welcome to the wonderful world of wellness with Dr. Andy Mencia. This medical program heard from 7 to 7:30 each Saturday right here on WSBR 740 AM is brought to you by the Adult and Geriatric Center under the medical direction of geriatrician Dr. Andy Mencia. Okay, good morning. Oh, and we have a special guest here this morning. Why don't you introduce her, Dr. Mencia?
Yeah, we have Ina. Ina Leskovich is co-hosting with us today.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning, Ina.
Dobre utra.
Dobra utra.
Yeah, that's Russian
Yeah,
for.
that's Russian for.
You know, but I don't know the two what you would be saying, so you have to let me know. What does that say?
Dobre utra is close the door on Anita.
I was worried about that. It's got to stay in English. We were talking when Dr. Mencia came in, and of course everyone's talking about the hurricane, and then he
Sally, my girlfriend Sally.
Yeah, it's no.
I love Sally.
No, you
she's
don't.
Big.
Yeah, I know, but
Big
she's
Sally.
Dangerous.
It's dangerous.
You like dangerous.
Dangerous girls are the best.
Oh yeah, well, this is not going to be a pretty picture, and even
no,
here,
but you know, with Sally, with her hurricane, a lot of people now they want to be more relaxed because they think the storm have moved past us. But we have to keep in mind history. How many storms have moved in one direction and then turn around and come right back? So, you know, it's not over for us. And, you know, you and I were talking before we went on the air. Even though the storm is so far away from us, look the effect that we are feeling. You know, I was driving yesterday and listening to the news and what have you. And 818 was shut down just north of Sunrise. Because right so close to the beach.
Yep.
So the sand and the water that came over and flooded, and there were cars stuck in there.
Well,
So,
yeah,
and that's without the storm coming to us.
You're absolutely right. I mean, it is. I don't know, and this kind of jumped up. In fact, I had said to my husband, he had some sculpture outside, and he had it tied down for the last few months. I said, well, hurricane season's over, let's take it off. He said, no, hurricane season isn't over till the end of November. I said,
Exactly.
oh, come on. And then up comes Sally, right? But let's talk about the older people. And I know you like for people to live a long time. You always talk about
Sandy Stone.
the people living a long time, longevity, and what is going to help them do that. Now, wouldn't this be something that would negate longevity if they don't take precaution, not only for the storm, but for other things?
Well, yes, you know, sometimes we take risk. Sometimes we want to, we want to live our life the way we are set up to, those fallen is to us. When we look at the way we are living life right now, you are in your apartment, your house, your condominium, whatever you are, retirement community. That's life for you, and you don't want people to disturb.
It's called independence.
You're independent, or your level of dependency, whatever you want to call it. You don't want that to be disturbed. So sometimes people even get stressed out when your own family members are coming from out of town to visit you, because you have to make certain rearrangement in your place. And most of us, even younger adults, are not ready for that. So as we age, we don't want to be moving things around. We want things the way they are, and sometimes we need to give into moving things around. And imagine when you are going for surgery. If you're undergoing hip surgery or shoulder surgery, and sometimes I talk to the home health care agency, or I call senior helper and have somebody to come in. A lot of times the patients are very reluctant. No, Dr. Mencia, I don't want nobody in my house. I want people out of my house. And I say, look, let's go one step at a time. Right now you are suffering, you are in pain, and you're just looking forward into getting into the hospital and coming back home. Now let's look at you coming back home after the surgery. Are you going to be able to make a cup of coffee, open the fridge, pull out the water, make your bed up, wash the dishes? Are you going to be able to do all of those things? Go to the pharmacy and come back. Are you able to do all those things by yourself? Oh no, I'm going to need help. Okay, so let's work on that now. And what I do a lot of time, I introduce the system that is going to come in after surgery. I have the companion or the home health care agency. I want them go and meet my patient that is going to undergo surgery, and is going to go to this hospital under this surgeon on this date. And they go in, they look, like, Ina was saying before we went on the air, sometimes the social worker will come in and look at the situation and say, but you're going for hip surgery, we have to put stuff in your bathroom, at least a shower chair, so that you are ready. So, all of this is taking place when you leave the hospital. Usually my patient, when they leave the hospital, the discharge planner don't have to do all of that stuff. Because imagine people going to your private place without you being there to set up all this thing. To me, I would be more stressed out than if I'm there.
Right. Well, Ina being here is a good point, Dr. Mencia, that you just said. Maybe Ina could share the fact of someone who is now going to need a home health an agency or a person. Ina, a lot of people think, I don't want someone else in my home. They're going to steal. They're going to not. They're not going to let me.
We do a level 2 background check.
Oh no, okay.
Nobody will go to steal. Everybody goes just to help you there. Because we do have nursing, we do have home health aides who actually helps you with the everyday living activities.
But the big thing, I think, Ina, is that just like you don't want someone coming into your house casually. I don't care how much people check and all. It's like, the strangers in my house, they don't even know what I want to eat. They don't know. I mean, they're going to have to wipe my behind because maybe I can't reach. There's a lot of personal things going on there.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I think it's important that they get to meet the person before the person is the patient.
Yeah.
Get to, what do I eat? Do you know what kosher food is? You don't know what kosher food. I need somebody else to come in and understand what I eat. Do you understand what vegetarian food is? This is what I eat. Or I eat a cardiac diet, and so we need
I'm a vegan. A vegan. This person from Haiti or from some Latin American country comes in and they're fixing fish and all this other. No,
exactly,
right?
Exactly. And vice versa. I have one of my doctors that is rotating with me. He's Haitian, and he's a vegan. So you might go in and say, "Oh, this guy is Haitian. He's gonna eat everything."
Right.
No, the guy is vegan. We take a lot of things for us. We assume a lot of things. You go into a house and you say, it's an elderly person, maybe just puree food. And, they never eat puree food. They're used to regular food.
Right.
So, all of those things are important to take into consideration. So you have the invasion of the strangers coming into your house. The best way of doing it is let's do it before you even need them, so that you have a system where the system already know what you like, how you like things. And then taking that on a side, other risks that we take, for example, if you have, a storm is coming and you have furniture outside in the patio, if you know that you have back problem, and you have that brace in the closet that you have not used for 5 or 6 years, before you even touch those furnitures, put on your back brace. Put on your brace and start moving those furniture.
Oh, no. Dr. Mencia, have a better idea. Hire someone.
Or hire someone.
Please, come on. That's too dangerous. Yeah. Someone maybe who's 80 years old or 90, they should not be doing that, should they?
Well, they can do it with herb. They can bring some herb in there because, you don't want to feel incapacitated, regardless of your age. You have seen some of my patients in their 90s, and they'll
arm wrestle you, right?
Oh, big time. They are very, very independent, and, you'll be amazed, and you will not believe, the age. But if your kids are far away or your family member, your immediate family member are really far away, if sometimes we don't think about asking the doctor, what should I do if I have this social issue? Because it's a social issue, it's not medical. In the geriatric field, we study the biopsychosocial component of an individual. So for those social issues, there are safe way of doing that, where you don't go in a corner and pick up two illegal persons standing out there to say, come to my house and move furniture for me. I mean, that's very risky. You're taking huge risks when you do that. There are ways of doing it where you can have somebody that you get to trust, and it's within a system of check and counter check, so that you are not exposing, your personal life and your belonging and all of that, your family, unnecessarily.
Dr. Mencia, we call it neighbors. And it's very good. I've told older people, make friends with some neighbors, because you could use them for a lot of reasons. And then if there's some, like we have some young men in their 30s and 40s, and they really like my husband, and they're always helping him around. He will ask them if something goes wrong with the computer. He calls them and says, would you come over and help me? Well, it's the same thing with the lawn furniture and stuff, because it's one thing to be strong and on your feet, but sometimes people don't see as well, and they have to go up the stairs. They have to lug this stuff. So I was, as we were talking, I was thinking about Ina in Russia, and because Ina is from Russia, and families are different there because they're not as far away, are they? It would be different for someone
Family
there,
members always all together. We always help each other.
Yeah.
So not only we know every neighbor in the building where we live, and know all the neighbors. If I need a salt from you, I will go to you. Hey, Anita, can you give me some salt? I'm out. Or something like this. Here, it's like everybody's so isolated. Nobody knows each other. I don't even know who lives next door to me.
And even my neighborhood's the same way, but you're absolutely right. Years ago, people did live all, in apartments and everything, and people did help each other. But now we are...
Even back 20 years, even in America, I think, 30, 20... 40 years back, everything was different. Now everybody's like, go, go, go. Don't look at me.
No, you're absolutely right.
Yeah,
that
exactly,
is a change,
exactly.
isn't it?
And that's a risk in society.
Everything is on the
yes.
go.
Everything is, everybody's on their go, on their own objectives. And, we are even ashamed, like Ina said, to go and say, I need some salt. Do you have salt? Can you spare some salt?
I don't think you're so right. I live in this wonderful neighborhood, and I can see knocking. First, you have to get through the gate. Knocking on the door and saying, salt, do you have any extra salt? Yeah, that would be right. They'd call the cops on me. They'd think I was loony.
Exactly.
I had when I used to live in Sea Ranch Lakes.
Oh, you lived in Boca? Yeah. I didn't know that.
No, in
Sea Ranch, right, down in Fort Lauderdale,
in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, lots of luck.
I used to live there. The first time I met my neighbor was with a cop. She knocked on the door with the police. And the police is there, this big guy, like the police became my patient. It's like 7 foot tall.
My best friend.
He knocked on the door, and I opened the door, and the neighbor is there with a mean face.
What?
And Snowy was a puppy, and he will bark. It's an American Eskimo. He will bark,
right.
and she has a dog also that was older, and her dog would not bark, but my puppy would bark, and she come with a cab, and she say, I cannot sleep my afternoon nap because I cannot take my afternoon nap because your dog is barking so much. So I look at the police officer, I look at the lady, I open the door, I say, will you please come into my house? And she said, I didn't come here to visit your house. I said, will you please step into my house? And I told the officer, will you come in? And he came in, then she came in. And I said, the dog is at the animal hospital, lady. The dog is not even home. I hear the dog barking. I say, okay, it's not my house. But if you want a glass of water, I can get it for you.
But she didn't come to you without the police first, did she? She made it into a big deal. Well, I think you bring up
so, we need to become better neighbors with each other. Because in the time of need, we don't pull together. As Americans, we always pull together in the time of need. But unfortunately, we wait until something outside, like a hurricane coming in or something like that, something outside, then we want to pull together. And my thought today is like, we should start pulling together before anything like that happens. Especially as we age, and I think us, the younger generation, is our duty to look out after, the elderly, and help out with anything that we can. The other day I saw a lady carrying from Publix a bunch of bags, and I see her soft, and I say, "Man, do you mind if I help you?" And she looked at me with my ponytail and said, no, it's okay.
With his
With my
ponytail.
ponytail.
He said that
And
very
I said,
fast.
so-
You did it. I
So
want
we
everyone
don't
to
get
know.
it.
So
Yes,
I've-
Dr. Mencia has a gorgeous ponytail. That's why I love him. He is so cute with his ponytail. But you're right. Some people will think you're the Kippy of the 60s.
So I pull out my business card. I say, "Ma'am, I'm a medical doctor, and I was also a public, and I only had this one little bag, and I can help you." So I show her my card, and she looked at the card. She said, "Okay." So I grabbed all of her bag.
This is my ID.
You know what? This is called profiling.
Then she gave
Isn't
me,
it?
Exactly.
This is called
so
profiling.
she gave me all her bag, all of them, and he said, "Come on, you
Now
walk."
he has another patient.
Yeah.
That's how he gets the patient.
No, I don't-
That's how he does.
Yeah.
And I just figured out how to get somebody.
Go to Publix.
And get the patient. That's probably what we should start
I
doing.
gave my secret
It's a
away.
new marketing tool.
That's what I said. That's a great idea for me to do marketing. To go to Publix.
Offer to help people with their bags and
But,
your
I
card,
know,
by
right?
the way.
By the way, here's my business card.
No, but I
I know,
was
you're so kind.
humble enough to put my
Yeah.
card away.
No.
And
Oh.
she asked me, "Can I have your card?" I said, "No, man. I just want to help you."
Oh,
I saw you,
so-
and I didn't.
you're
I,
so
I
cute,
would not
yeah.
give her the card. I said no.
So she
So she said,
follows them
but she did
home.
ask me. She did ask me, "What was your name again?" I said, "I'm Dr. Mencia." I said, "Oh, that was very kind of you."
Yeah. But you're right. I think we could really make a difference in our neighborhoods and with people who are struggling, and we should do that because if someone is older, and that's the whole thing you talked about before, Dr. Mencia. Independence is a good thing. People do want to be independent, but they have to know a certain time when they maybe can't be independent. The driving at night.
Exactly.
If you
have macular degeneration, and you know that driving is going to be an issue. I have two of my patients that they just went to an assisted living facility. They're going to be in the independent side. Me and and the son of the couple have been talking to them about, I think it's time. And the son showed me a picture that the father was frying an egg, and there's a box right next to the stove. And the father went to do something for his wife, who is ill, and he forgot the stove on. And the son, thank God the son came in and turned off the stove and took a picture to show the father, because the father said, no. And me and him were talking about all the loops we have to go through. Sometimes we do things and we have an excuse of why we did it. So, it's like you start driving and you hit somebody else's car. I say, "Oh, no, that car was wrongly parked. That's why I hit it. I left the stove on purposely because, and we have to start facing when are we getting to the point that we need some help before something catastrophic happen, to our the thing that you have, regardless if you are 70 or you are 107, those things that you have is not only yours, it's your family too. Your kids, your grandkids, when you pass on, they come in and they will cherish, most family will cherish those things from the past. And I still have stuff from my parents and my grandparents. It's stuff that they kept and they, it was important to them. So they become important to me for the next generation. So it's important that, those things, we protect them. And when we are doing risky things in our own environment, we need to know, what can I do? And for example, some of the things that you can do at home. You live with your husband, Anita, but let's say, if Ina lives by herself with a young kid, and she has medical condition, in your case with your husband, if 911 come to pick you up, he will know where to look for the medicine that you take, and vice versa. But imagine you or him living all alone. And if you live alone, you say, "Well, I have the list of medicine in my pocket." 911 will have to be searching for that list of medicine all through your private thing. One thing that I recommend is take the refrigerator and put the list in the refrigerator with your name on it, your date of birth, your hospital of preference, your primary care physician. And when you put that name there, remember Andy Mencia, MD. No, just kidding.
But you're right. It's very important.
Your primary care physician.
I'm going to put that. I didn't do that.
Any allergies that you have.
No.
And then put your list of medication and update it. And 911 come in and they see that list of medicine, they will grab it and they will take that with them. And you can imagine if it's something simple like an ankle that you have fractured, now you won't go into atrial fibrillation or congestive heart failure because they don't know what medication you're taking.
Well, listen, I'm laughing because my husband does take 4 or 5 things. I finally said to him, Bill, I don't know what you take. I made him write it down, and I have this in my wallet.
Very good.
I have it in my wallet because I don't know what he does, and it would be terrible. So
so let me tell you what you did wrong.
Oh my God! What? What?
954.
That's right.
What you didn't do?
No,
that's amazing.
No, let me tell you what you did wrong.
What did I do wrong?
The medication, you want to put the frequency. So he takes 1, 2, 3. I won't say the name of the drug.
No,
but
you
the
can
drug
tell him.
that
I
he
don't
takes,
care. Do it. I have no problem.
For example, Diovan once a day, digoxin
doesn't
once
say
a day.
it doesn't say
it
that.
Doesn't say that. So
it's
once a day, or you can put in AM and PM. When do you normally take that? So God forbid, Bill end up in the hospital.
Right. I don't know.
The nurse immediately, even if it's a fractured ankle, his heart condition will be protected because all the drugs are there. There's no excuse for him not to get his next dose because you have it right then.
So all right, I'm going to go do that then.
So,
I have to know how often he takes this.
How often you take this one in the morning, you take this one at night,
Okay.
And that's important because when a lot of the mistake we make in the hospital, there's a lot of drug errors in the hospital.
Give me your card. Excuse me. Give me your card while you're sitting here. I'm putting it in my wallet right now so they go to you.
I don't have it.
You didn't bring a card with you today?
That lady in public.
Oh, come on.
Just kidding.
No, I'm going to put your card right here in my wallet so that they know to call you.
Right.
Okay.
So all of those things we need to have that post on the fridge.
Okay.
When 911, they usually will look at the refrigerator to see what's posted there. So that's a common place that we know to look for. When I do a home visit, I go to that refrigerator and see if the list is there. Okay. So that's a common area that we use in case of an emergency. The other one is some of us don't want to be resuscitated. Some of us don't want to be put on a ventilator. That should be posted on the refrigerator. According to Florida law, if something happened to me and the emergency rescue come into my apartment or my house and they see me on the floor, and I don't post the fact that, which is true, I don't want to be pump on my chest and all of that. If I'm terminal, I want to be a donor, so I don't want to be I don't want to be on a ventilator. If it's something permanent, I don't want to live like a vegetable. That's my desire. Those are my wishes. But when you go, if you post this in the refrigerator, if it's not there, they will pump on me. They will intubate me. That's the law in Florida. Until we have that in black and white, the 911 have all the right to intubate you and start and put you on a ventilator as soon as you get to the hospital. And then imagine trying to reverse that action, because now there are protocol to follow. You cannot just say, "Oh, here's a piece of paper, take him out." It doesn't work like that.
Oh, it doesn't?
No. Yeah, it's a protocol. Now the person is intubated. The paper wasn't there. So now we had to start weaning the patient off. Can we keep the patient for a day or two? But that's not what the person wanted from the get-go. Never wanted to have that done.
A lot of confusion.
So, it can be a big violation of a person's desire, what they want. And, so those are some of the things that are less risky in our everyday living,
before we stop, and I do want to give you a phone number, but I want to talk about in case there is an emergency at someone's home, like storms and all. But wait, let me do this first. The phone number to call, and Dr. Mencia is there on Saturdays, which is unique for a doctor of his being as renowned as he is and as busy as he is, but he's doing that now. He knows there are people can't make it during the week. Please make an appointment on Saturday. It's 954-489-1345. I'll repeat that. Remember, Pencil Talk Radio. Get your pencils, get a notebook, put it in, put it up on your refrigerator. 954-489-1345. Even if you've never gone to him before, put it up anyway. That's your doctor. If something happens, you tell him, Anita Finley's show, he's on. Call my doctor. All right, 954-489-1345. Or go to his website. It's a wonderful website, geriatrics.tv. And you'll see a lot of the shows he's done for all these months. Anyway, okay. Now, let me just say that I think if someone
we still have
lives,
the flu vaccine.
Oh, I had mine. Everybody has their flu. Please get it. People without this, if you get the flu, you'll be in bed for 2 weeks. You might wind up in the hospital. It's so silly. You don't even feel it. It's like a teeny little prick. Anyway, but I wanted to say that if a hurricane's coming and you live alone, I don't think you should be alone. I think you should be with someone else. Go find a friend's house. Go with someone else. It's fun. It's very dangerous to be alone. It really is.
Couple with one of your neighbors.
Absolutely.
That's also alone.
Yeah, it really. You should really. You make it fun. It's not losing your independence. But no one, when you go, you hear about these places where someone says, "I'm not leaving my house," and the floodwaters come and they wind up on the top of their roof. Oh, I'm not leaving. I've lived here all my life and all right. Well, I don't think so.
But you have to see your limitations. If you have Parkinson's disease, or if you have a hip fracture, or if you have a stroke where you cannot move one of your legs, and anything like that is happening, you won't be able to go to the top of your roof.
No.
You're going to be stuck.
Well, we did to the top of the hour. Thank you very much. I know you have to rush off, and thank you, Ina, for being here with us. And you're going right there now to Dr. Mencia's, right, to be able to help there at the office. Thank you very much, and we are going to take a break, and we're going to listen to Terry Rodriguez from Clear Tone Hearing, so just stay with us. Thanks for listening to The Wonderful World of Wellness with Dr. Andy Mencia. Be sure to tune in each Saturday morning from 7 to 7:30 right here on WSBR 740 AM.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its hosts, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.